Hello everyone, PlayStation 5 Pro, the latest device from Sony PlayStation. It is the long-awaited update from some players to reach the highest technical level in drawing in the console world. And because the name Pro means that it is dedicated to professional people who are passionate about graphic technology in general, it means that it is not for everyone. The device has risen to a higher level than the usual console, which makes it a rival to the PC platform. So you've seen a lot of discussions about this topic in the past few days. But the question is it really a revolution in the console world? Is it worth the price or the purchase? And does it offer better performance than the PC with the same specifications? And in the end, do I recommend it or not? And other questions that I'll answer in this review. Therefore, this video will close the profile for you now. And you know whether it is suitable for you or not. I will talk about the device in general and my personal experience. And there are comparisons between the normal PlayStation and the Pro. Also, did the 4 games improve or not? Because there's a new option, in addition to a comparison of the PC games, and we'll see if the VR improves, and everything will be in this review. And in the end, I'll give you the summary and my general evaluation of the device, honestly and without exaggeration. Therefore, I advise you not to rush in the Pro decision until you see this review and know if it is suitable for you or not. So, God willing, it will be a useful and enjoyable review. And you separate in this decision, because the question is repeated many times. This is Mohammed from Games Reviews by Simo. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. PlayStation 5 Pro raised on 7th of November, and the official price is $700, but in other countries it will be more than that. The price ranges between $800 and $900, if not more. The device has a familiar design, and I did an unboxing in a previous video, but with some new features, like more wild lines. Because in the end it's a Pro, it has to give you that feeling. Of course, the device does not have a base. These accessories are purchased separately. As for the official and compatible specifications, here's the proof. AMD Ryzen Zen 2 8-core 16-thread processor. It's the same old processor, but with more enhancements than the previous one. But the main enhancement and focus is on the GPU. It's stronger than the previous one, 7 teraflops. AMD Radeon RDNA new GPU. The RAM DDR 16 GB, and there's an extra 2 GB DDR that will contribute to run the system instead of taking the RAM, so the 16 GB will be an extra for the developers or for the game's TWAP SSD in all versions. The ports TWAX Type-C ports, and on the bottom we see the power button. Other than the changed displays, the device's lighting has also changed. On the back, we have an HDMI 1 and 2. 2 comes with all the connections, and a stand if you want to put it horizontally. And on the 20th or 24th, there will be a version of it available, but in a different color for the 30th anniversary of the PlayStation. But this version is very slow. Good luck if you get it. Before we get into performance and testing, I'll tell you the main goal of releasing the Pro version. The main goal is to extend the generation by 5 years, which 9 or 10 years for the current generation. Also, to take advantage of the AI technologies that are available in the hardware in all large and portable PC platforms. Since AI is available, why not put it in the console and get better results? That's why Sony chose to go into this experiment and advance it. It's a Pro version. Note that it's a Pro, not for everyone. For the professionals who like graphics and are good at these things. That's why they improved the drawing power and the ability to present a choice that players always face 2 choices, but now there's a 3rd choice. Instead of being forced to perform or be accurate through AI in the Pro, it takes them both at once. And on top of that, it will take the tracking of the rays and other image improvements in general in the PSSR technology. And of course, the frame rate, which always aims for the fastest possible. So this is the main goal. PlayStation wants to get into this experiment and provide artificial intelligence and improve its processing. But now, let me show you my actual experience and see if Sony really presented something revolutionary in the console world or just empty talk. For the gaming experience section, it will be divided into 4 parts. I'll talk about the first thing, the PS Pro. When I turned on the newly enhanced games, what was the feeling or how were the games? Second, I'll compare between the games, the regular PS and the Pro. Is there an improvement or not? We will see now. Third, since there is a new option for the PS games, we will try it on the PS and see if there is a change or not. And finally, we will make a comparison in one of the games between the Pro and the PC. Let's take the experiments one by one. PS games, in order to benefit from the Pro's capabilities, must have an update meaning that not all the games you see are supported. PlayStation released a list of about 50 games, and I can tell you that this list will be updated quickly after release, and the developers will send their updates. These updates will generally give the new options, which I noticed in the games that are currently being reviewed. Each game has a name for its options. Low Pro mode, I don't know what mode. The important thing is that there are new options and different names. First, let's see the gaming experience on Low Pro. For high-end games and Sony TV, how was the experience? The first experience was Spider-Man 2, which offered a professional mode for accuracy, also a professional mode for performance. The first mode, when I turned it on, gave me the feeling of 60 frames, but in reality it was 40 frames. But to be honest, the experience was amazing, very strong in terms of details, drawings, frames, and tracking things completely. And this smoothness, it's true that it's less than 60, but it gave me an amazing feeling. Because all the details you see and track are running at more than 40 frames and very fast. It literally gave me the feeling of a PC. But when I switched the game to the second mode of performance, which is Pro, the new one, the game became fantastic in terms of speed, as if I was playing a PC. Of course, some details were missing, but I didn't notice it. You know that Spider-Man has 120 frames on the normal PlayStation, but the Pro gave you this speed with more details. When you see the quality and the power of the picture in general, you will go crazy. The second experiment was The Last of Us 2 Remastered. It also updated the picture modes. The Pro used to have the old fidelity mode, which is still at 30 frames per second. And if you put the game on performance, it will definitely reduce the details and take 60 frames. But the new Pro mode is what pushed the game almost to fidelity in terms of level and accuracy. But at the same time, it gave you 60 frames. And here, the power of the Pro, as they mentioned, is that with AI and enhancing the abilities altogether. It integrates the two modes and you see the feeling as if it's a PC. Indeed, the details are very high and the frames are high, so it is impossible that one should play on another mode. The Pro modes must be. Of course, after the excitement I saw, I'll try Gran Turismo 7. Unfortunately, there is no update and nothing has changed. Even the tracking of the things they mentioned in the PlayStation event is not available. Therefore, I tell you 5. But unfortunately, the old fidelity modes, if you put them back in the game will return to 30 frames, as if there's any improvement. So I say that any game you update, do not think to play it except on the Pro fidelity mode. And the old second options, forget them completely. Now, let's move on to the important part, which is a direct comparison between the regular PS and the Pro, and see the differences. The first experience was with The Last of Us Part I Remastered. On the left, you can see the regular PS on the high-resolution mode, Fidelity. And on the right, you can see the Pro on the new Pro mode. When we see them, honestly, there's nothing to mention. I mean, you have to look around and see the zoom, and you can notice simple changes. That's it. It's just a few pixels that you see differently. Don't get excited about the improvement of the graphics in terms of quality and adding pixels. No, that's not the case. But the good thing about the Pro version is that you'll get the same quality with faster frames. And the improvement I noticed between the two games on both devices is just a mix between details. But if you want to see more details, forget about it. The two games are similar everywhere. For me, the second game was Alan Wake 2, which had new graphic options. The same thing when comparing between the two versions. It is difficult to notice the difference. You can see some of the reflections or processing and ray tracing will be clearer in the version on the Pro. I mean, there are new enhancements in tracking the rays. As for the details, you may notice some details, but nothing is mentioned. So the same thing, we can say that the game, instead of distracting you on the accuracy or on the frames, what do you think? You merge them both and enjoy the picture. So this is the Pro with Alan Wake 2. For me, the third experience was Ratchet, which is honestly very difficult to notice the difference between the Pro and the normal. There is no extra texture or anything. Maybe if you zoom, in some places you see more sharpness in the Pro, but in general, the subject does not differ, especially when you move, as if there is a change. Especially that Somniac Studio was creative, and they merged it between the two previous modes. They used to give you performance with ray tracing, so when they merged it between the two modes, it's like they gave you a Pro device, but inside the game, so you won't feel a big difference between the two platforms even on the new Pro mode. When you turn it on, of course, the picture will be smoother, deeper colors. and so on, but the frames will be lower, and the strange thing is that on the new Pro mode, the reflection has gone. This is the point you see on Pro mode. You don't see the bullet reflection on the water, but when I put the performance, I saw the reflection, so there was a change between high accuracy and tracking lamps. The game is against you. It's hard to collect them all. Then I tried Demon's Souls. This game also has new options, and their name is Pro. Between cinema and normal, it is very difficult to notice the difference. I mean, in terms of details. I tell you again, there is nothing new. Even if you zoom in, you may notice and you may not notice anything, but it is worth mentioning that the game on the cinema mode is heavy, so now you can play it in the Pro mode and it is smooth and takes the details with the speed of frames. And these shots you see are from the PS Pro. I mean, when we see a game with this quality in the picture and the smoothness of the frames, it's almost like you're playing a PC. Especially in a game like this, it's going to be very high definition with smoothness of the frames. The last game in this section was Horizon, which, honestly, I turned on all the options. I didn't feel that there were any differences. Even if you zoom in, you might notice something or not. You might notice. So what I understood is that when developers are creative like Guerrilla Games, they are basically able to draw and make it stronger than the normal PS, so it's hard to see any improvement in the Pro. But I'll tell you again, you have a mode that makes it high precision with smooth frames. So the comparison between the normal PS games and the Pro is over. It's pretty much the same with the details. Maybe if you zoom in, you'll notice some of the details and the games are clearer for the Pro. Of course, because of the AI that improves the image. But in general, when playing all of this, you won't notice it. The most important thing is that the image quality in the Pro, in addition to the frames, will be better than the normal 5. As for the PC, I found the game Alan Wake to be the most suitable for the test. Alan Wake 2, because it offers the technologies, either on the Pro or on the PC. I can't tell you that the specifications of the PC are exactly or very similar to the PlayStation 4, but this is the result you see. As for the ray tracing and the details, as you can see, let me know which one is better, the PC or the PlayStation Pro. And then, God willing, I'll make a comparison of different games on the PC with the PlayStation Pro. As for now, with the Q&A section, as I promised the followers on Twitter and Instagram, ask me and I'll answer you. We'll take questions and answer them quickly. Is the P a really powerful device? The answer is yes. The games were excellent directly in the new modes, and the image was very amazing, merged between the accuracy and the frames, so we forgot about the previous options, and we have a new option that gives you an experience similar to the feeling of PC games in a way. Second question, which has been asked a lot. I am a person who owns a normal PS right now. Would you advise me to upgrade to the Pro version right now or not? If you tell me right now, I'll tell you no, wait for improvements to come in addition to having more supported games, and therefore there may be reductions in the future. As for upgrading right now, only for those who are passionate about drawing and the person who is accurate and has a very modern screen. The next question is also a lot. Do I collect a PC similar to the specifications instead of taking a Pro device or not? Honestly, the quick answer is yes. Go collect a PC with similar specifications so that you have more options, especially if you currently have a 5. The answer is no. If you put the old fidelity mode, the 30 frames, you won't see any enhancements, no pixels, no extra textures, no sharpness, nothing. The next question for accessories, should I take it or not? Currently, I tell you, if you have a chess game, of course you have to take the reading of the dice, meaning a game that continues in it. As for the stand, it is not necessary at all, because the device I tried is fixed without a stand. For the last question, will all the games be improved on the PS without an update? The answer is no. Each developer and each company must release an update for the game to see the change. And for example, Gran Turismo 7, which is a Sony game, and in my review experience, there was no update on it, so there is no difference. In conclusion, the PS Pro is honestly on paper, and the numbers we see are legendary. Also, my direct experience on the games was amazing. And finally, we see the console giving the high precision and the frames at the same time, but I think that we didn't reach the real power of it at all. All the games you see here are just current improvements. So the power is on the hardware for the future, meaning that we can see more optimized games that will be more amazing in the future. I am a person who loves drawings and high precision, and if I have a new screen, on the contrary, I see that the device is a successful choice, and for those who have a budget that allows it, there is no problem. You can take and enjoy the new modes and replay the games you've played before, but in general, to be honest, it's a transparency. Believe me, the time is not suitable now. There is nothing mentioned to urge you to go run and buy a device for you. Most of the games are supported, whether you finished it or saw it. And even if you didn't play them, the change of trust is not amazing to the extent that I really go and take the device without thinking. You probably won't notice the difference, but if you want to stop and zoom in on it, it's possible. That's why I advise you to wait for a period of time, maybe a few months, for it to decrease, in addition to downloading optimized games for the Pro. Because in the end, you won't lose anything. You can save money and wait for the real games to support you. But currently, even with the experiences I've seen, the smoothness I've seen, and the beauty I've seen, I feel that the games aren't ready, and even the Pro didn't show their real strength. In short, with all the games currently supported, I can say that it didn't take advantage of the power of the Pro and the hardware on it. So now, if I give you my rating for the device, if I talk about the current situation and the games I tried, and we put into consideration the price that must be paid for the device to be rated, honestly, my rating is a 5 out of 10. As for the future, if more optimized games come out and bring out the real amazing power, I can rate the device 9 or even 10 out of 10. For sure, you know that the PS and the Pro are the devices that give you amazing optimized games. For example, if you run a game on two platforms, the PC and the PS Pro, and they have the same specs, without a doubt, the PS will be more optimized than the PC. But let's wait and see if the games reach this level to show the true power of the Pro. But right now, I feel like the time is too early for the Pro. In the end, this was my review of the PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm sure the review gave you the summary and helped you decide to buy it or even understand the level of the device in general. And forgive me if I made a mistake with you or if there was something unclear. There's still a lot, and I will present more content, whether a direct comparison with the PC or try the forward games with more accuracy. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments. I'd like to, and don't forget to like and share and give me your opinion in general or any kind of explanation. This was Mohammed from Games Reviews by Simo. Goodbye.